Hi, my name's Amanda. I am a coach and a trance channel, and I have something a little different for you today. So, once a month, I host an event called the Expansion Experience, and it's a 90-minute trance channeled event where I trance channel a message from one of the ascended masters, archangels, or whoever else desires to come through. And then after that, I open it up to the group for one-on-one guidance and support. So whoever's in attendance is welcome to come forward one at a time and receive individual coaching, guidance, and support from whoever it is that I'm channeling that day. I wasn't able to host an expansion experience this month just for personal reasons, but the Pleiadians came forward and said that they have a message that they wanted to transmit through me regardless. And so what you are about to watch is a message from the Pleiadians on the topic of indecision. Usually what happens is I'm going through something in my personal life, and that becomes the reference point for what the archangels and ascended masters want to speak about on behalf of the group, because if I'm going through it, more than likely other people are going through it too. And so I've been dealing with some indecision in my personal life lately, and I know that that's a topic that a lot of you might be able to relate to. And so they really wanted to talk about why we feel indecision, where that's really coming from, and how to let go of the back and forth push-pull that sometimes we feel in our lives. And if you want to stay up to date on future expansion experiences, please email me, amandalaurenblau@gmail.com, or you're welcome to visit my website and find out all the information about past and future experiences there. So I hope that you enjoy this, and if this is the type of content that you really like to watch, please stick around, click subscribe, and I've got so much more coming at you in the future.
Hello. I am so honored to be invited forward to speak to all of you today. This is my first opportunity to be invited forward in this way on this channel through this beautiful being, and I am excited for this opportunity. I decided that I wanted to have this experience with all of you because I have seen a gap in the conversation that I would like to fulfill for myself, as I believe that it will bring all of you a sense of peace and inner knowing and clarity on how to move forward differently than you've been operating thus far. There is a belief system permeating all of you and on this planet where you believe that you must know every opportunity available to you so that you can have them all mapped out. And through seeing all of the options that you have available to you and understanding each and every single one of them in their entirety, which I would like to add is nearly impossible. But from your understanding, you can see every single option available to you in their entirety. And the belief system is that this brings you peace. Because if you can see every single option available to you as far as the eye can see, and you can determine from your vantage point where you will end up depending on which option you choose, then all will be well for you. And the future will be predictable. And there is a sense of safety within that. And when we look down upon all of you attempting to predict your own future in every single possible outcome, we laugh to ourselves because it is impossible to know every single possible outcome because there are infinite possibilities. And it is quite adorable that the human mind believes that it is capable of predicting and attempting to see and witness all of the options available to you and where they will lead you, where you will end up depending on which one you choose. Because there is so much that you do not know from where you are situated that it is a little bit comical to watch you agonize over the different decisions that you have before you, believing that you can foresee where you will end up depending on which one that you choose. And so we stand aside and we watch all of you hem and haw and move back and forth, attempting to make the right decision. Because God forbid you don't. What kind of catastrophe will come of you? And what fate you will meet on the other side of it, should you, by chance of luck, choose incorrectly. My children, what I wanted to come through to talk to you about today is the idea that it is nearly impossible to know every single outcome available to you. And I understand the reason why you attempt to do this. There is something oddly terrifying about the unpredictability of the future and the future circumstances that you might find yourself in. Because if you don't know what is coming for you, then you can't protect yourself from it. And it's simply as simple as that. It is a protective mechanism that you are attempting to put forth in front of you so that you feel safe and you can move forward knowing that at least you attempted to keep yourself safe to the best of your ability. And the feeling that you did not properly prepare yourself for what might be coming your way, that is where you must hold yourself accountable. And that if something happens that you did not foresee, shame on you for that, right? What I would like for you to know is that the future is not predictable because it is your energy and the choices that you make that predict it. And it is only once you make a choice and the energy that is permeating out from your system while you make that choice that creates the circumstances available to you on the other side of it. The idea that you can foresee an outcome depending on which option you choose is simply a byproduct of your limited perspective from your density here on this planet. You do not see the unlimited potential that is truly available to you. And because of that, you believe that you can create the outcome by force that you desire. But another part of this equation that you are not taking into account is that because you do not know the full extent of the options available to you, you do not even know the true extent of the possibilities that lie on the other side of it. And so what you are believing to be the best possible outcome for you, you are only seeing it that way because you are limited by your own perception of what is best for you. What if I told you that your ability to perceive what is within your greatest desire isn't even within your parameter of awareness until you expand to the degree that you can see it? If you truly desire to step into a life and a version of you that feels so deeply aligned with who you are and what you want, you have to be willing to take steps forward towards an unknown, because it is only inside of the unknown that your greatest and wildest dreams can come alive. Because this version of you that has not yet made a choice doesn't have access to the potential on the other side. The potential on the other side is determined by the choice that you make. And if you are constantly attempting to determine what the best outcome is for you, you are making a choice based around fear and what you fear may happen. And this is coming from a belief system that you are in need of protection. There is a belief system there that you do not fully trust in yourself. And so the outcomes available to you on the other side of that will reflect that. Do you see this now? Do you see how trust in you is what determines your future? It is what determines the availability and possibility and potential that is out there for you. It is not the choice that you make depending on the outcome that determines your future. It is the choice that you make depending on the outcome that you cannot perceive that does. How can you make choices according to the feeling inside of you that it elicits, rather than the feeling inside of you that you are hoping it does not? What are you truly afraid of, if you do not mind if I ask? If you really think about it, what is the worst possible scenario? You are spending your entire life avoiding it. Do you even know what it is? If you were to sit down and really imagine what that would be, is it so bad? And if you were to sit down and imagine it in this very moment, really drop into that experience, then it is already happening for you in your mind. But what happens in your mind might as well be a reality, because the mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not. And so if you could imagine it right here, right now, then your worst case scenario has already come to pass. And if you can survive it once, you can survive it twice. And now that you've survived it once, is it so scary? Is it really worth avoiding and potentially eliminating options that might be well worth your while, all because you're making choices in avoidance of this rather minute scenario that you've built up in your mind to be something grand? Life on earth is tricky because you are limited by the reality that you see before you, and this becomes the box in which you live. And you make choices, and you think thoughts, and you feel things according to what you see inside of this box. And the only way to break free of the box is to allow yourself to step outside of it into what is unknown to you. And it is not what's on the other side of the box that is scary. It is the lack of trust within yourself that you will not be able to handle it. That is. But when you can begin to see that the scariest part of navigating this earth life is not believing in yourself as you do, then you begin to see that there is nothing outside of you that is more scary than the thoughts and belief systems that lie within. And if you can change how you think about yourself, then there will be nothing out there that scares you enough to make decisions out of lack. My message for all of you today is to begin to question the belief system that you need to know before you act. How can you begin to place your trust in you? Not in the world, in you. Because the world doesn't save you, and the world doesn't protect you. You do. And it is the way that you move through the world that will dictate what's available to you within it. How you see the options and opportunities available to you. And then what becomes available to you as a byproduct of that. I want you to view your life almost as if you're playing a game of chess. You do not always see the moves ahead of you, but you have to trust that you'll be able to navigate the board regardless. And there is no opponent other than your own mind. And this is truly who you're playing against if this is how you've been operating up until now. But the two of you can join forces together and move forward as a solid partnership. It is up to you how you want to do this and when you are ready to. Please call upon us anytime you are in desire of a reframe of your reality. We in the Pleiades are here to guide you through this life, but we desire for you to live it in a different way. Rather than being afraid of what's out there, see that the opportunity is limitless, but you create that limitless opportunity according to the thoughts that you think and the decisions that you make as a byproduct, not the other way around. The world doesn't dictate your options. You do. The world is not a living, breathing entity that is there to mess things up for you. That is simply the way that you have been interpreting the world. And so it is your own interpretation of your reality that must be checked. Seen and understood. I'm sending you all so much of my love and the love from all of us. and the constellation of the Pleiades that surround you more than you realize. Please, we beg of you, feel the power within you and stop placing it outside of you where it doesn't belong. We are tired of seeing you squander the potential that lies inside of you. And we wish for you to grasp it and use it to the best of your ability, because that's why you're here. And that is what you want. Thank you so much for allowing us to come and speak with you today. Bless you and all that you love and care for.